If I were to identify the single biggest thing that most B2B industrial companies miss about revenue growth, it would be how deeply integrated and entwined the pillars are. Strategy, board oversight, executive management, marketing, sales, customer experience, and technology, they're not separate functions. They're all aspects of the same revenue growth function. I'm Ed Marsh, creator of the overall revenue effectiveness framework, and today I'm focused on sales prospect research. We all know that outbound sales and sales prospecting are getting harder. Remarkably, though, many sales teams seem to simply accept that. I guess it shouldn't be surprising when we consider that sales talent follows the distribution like everything else in nature. By definition, most teams and most reps are average. But if you're a manager with reps whom you aspire to help become above average, or if you're a rep who's determined to outperform, then let's talk about a key determinant in how to improve the effectiveness of your outbound prospecting, your lead follow-up, and your opportunity management. That factor is effective and disciplined prospect research. There are so many amazing tools available and best practices are really pretty simple to master. But here's the hard part. You have to give a damn. Those who care are embarrassed to just blast random companies and people with tired generic approaches and lame scripts and poorly written email templates. So they don't do that. Sure, of course, they have technique. They role play and experiment with different text options and voice pacing and tonality. But those are secondary to their real killer app. That killer app is the way they research prospects, buyers, buying teams, and customers so that every communication is infused with relevance and context. Now, that's not just rudimentary personalization via email tokens, but really substantive information. They find pertinent details about the person, the company, their team, their market, their competitors, their performance, strategy, priorities, and goals. They time their outreach to coincide with trigger events and tailor their messaging to what's important. The most important piece of this? Their determination to succeed while others just whine about how hard it is. And that translates to effective performance, and an important step is this great research. So what tools do they use? Well, there's a wide range, and most are free or very low cost. For instance, Google Alerts will notify them when something new is happening or changing. Google Trends help understand the macro changes in a market. LinkedIn and Sales Navigator provide info on decision makers and the buying team. Partner relationships provide important context and introductions. First-party intent data is often available. And then, of course, the big one, the new one, there's AI. But here's the thing about AI. You have to shift how you think of the research you're doing. We've all been habituated to Google search. You write a search query for a search engine in a very specific way to generate a list of potentially relevant results. Now, that's just the first step. Then you have to navigate to each of those. You have to review and digest them. Then you have to aggregate them into some sort of a recap and then codify that into notes to which you can refer later. That's 5 or 6 time-consuming steps. AI potentially changes that because it can do all those steps for you. The key, though, is to give the AI engine appropriate instructions through a process called prompt engineering. That's kind of a fancy term for a pretty simple process. You have to practice writing the instructions that you give AI until you get the results that you want. The harder and more complex B2B sales become, the better we have to get. That means seeking out training and coaching and constantly reading, experimenting, practicing, and it means significantly improving the B2B sales research game. I'll drop a link below to an article that goes into more detail. Thanks for joining me. If you like this video, like it, share it, comment on it, please. I welcome you to come back and subscribe and visit me in the future.